here's my deep thought of the day. With all the devastation, sit back and look at the bigger picture. Because of the time of need and a time of devastation, we need to come together and help each other out.
One day later.
We booked a mountain vacation not knowing that a hurricane was going to come and destroy the little town that we're supposed to be going to, and we cannot be refunded.
What? A national disaster came in and ruined your mountain vacation? No, Margie. This cannot happen. What's up, everybody? Rivera here, the absolute best LGBTQ comedian in the world. Okay, so Hurricane Karen over here got her little mountain town vacation ruined by Hurricane Helene and had the nerve to come online with big "I want to speak to the manager" energy and quickly became the most hated woman on TikTok because they let her have it.
Well, it's been brought to my attention that my last post about canceling our mountain vacation has struck a few nerves.
And before we get into this video, I know that some of you are going to mention that I made a video about Roger where I was apartment hunting for him in Asheville, North Carolina, and that happened to be released on the day that the hurricane happened. Let me tell you a little something about me. I don't pay attention to the news, so I had no idea at all that that was happening. I certainly wouldn't have planned to post that on that particular day if I had known that was happening. You notice I didn't reference it in any sort of way. That's because I literally never know anything's happening until I actually see it online. And like I said, I don't watch news. I don't have regular TV. I have a TV, but I only watch YouTube, Netflix. To give you a better idea, there was a situation in Houston like maybe a month and a half ago where there was true flooding, and that's like 3 hours away from me. I would not have known that if I had not went out to do a comedy show and one of the other performers mentioned that he was here from Houston and he just wanted to get away from the flooding. So that's how little I know about anything. As far as Roger goes, am I worried about him? Most definitely not. People like Roger live forever to mooch off the rest of us. I have no doubt that Roger bedazzled some floaties and he's gonna wash up somewhere. He'll probably post next time with wet hair just to get maximum effect and have another reason for why we should give him money. According to Roger, the hurricane will probably have been transphobic and also neglectful of Palestine. So I'm not worried about Roger at all. Prayers to you, Roger. You've been good for the channel. But anyway, to get back to this chick, the thing that I think made it the worst for her after she posted this video, because she posted this video right in the thick of everything, like literally the day after they had been hit. So I think what really played against her was right before that she had posted on a video that was titled like Deep Thought of the Day. She really laid it on thick and made herself sound almost like a saint. And then all of that goes out the window as soon as her vacation gets ruined. And it was like, girl, what was all that about? So let's watch the video and go over it. And then at the end of the video, I'll let you guys know what I think she's not telling us. So before we go any further, as always, I'm just gonna ask that you like, comment, and subscribe. If you want to leave a comment just to help me on the algorithm, but you don't know what to leave, just leave a knife, because Hurricane Karen herself might come for my neck.
We booked a mountain vacation not knowing that a hurricane was going to come and destroy the little town that we're supposed to be going to.
Yeah, genius. I doubt anybody knew that the town was going to get absolutely decimated when you made your reservation.
And we cannot be refunded.
Now this pose right here is what gets me, because you can tell by the way she stuck this pose that she really thought, as the kids would say, that she ate with that one. And in her head, I'm sure she pictured the whole internet being like, "Tell him, Karen."
We are still expected to go on this trip.
Hey, dummy, I'm sure nobody expects you to go on this trip. But at the same time, I'm sure canceling your reservation wasn't number one priority to anybody in the world at that very moment.
Not knowing if there's damage to the property.
Yes, of course there's damage to the property. Later on in the video, she mentions that she was going to Hendersonville, North Carolina. So I looked up Hendersonville, North Carolina online, and they were literally kayaking in the streets of Hendersonville, North Carolina. But she's like, not knowing if there's going to be damage to the property.
Not knowing if the place is even accessible. Not knowing if surrounding events and attractions are going to be up and running.
Look, I'm no travel agent, but let me help you out. They aren't. Over 100 people have died. Last I checked, around 1,000 people are still missing. People don't have food. People don't have water. People barely have cell service. Some people are waiting on their roofs to be rescued. So even though I know this is going to sound extremely lazy to you, I don't think anybody's going to be handling the surrounding attractions after a Category 4 hurricane has devastated the entire area. And sorry if I sound a little bit amped, but this woman is just so insufferable, and I don't think she gets that. I mean, she's the kind of person that would actually go on this vacation and then leave terrible Yelp reviews for everything. Like, so we went to this bed and breakfast and it was really cute, but half of the staff was dead. And then we went to a restaurant and the server took forever to bring me water. So then when I asked him why he hadn't brought water yet, he told me they were out of water. And I was like, who runs out of water?
But let me tell you, if you've been following like I have, and I live in North Carolina, just the eastern part of it, then you know as well as I do, nothing's going to be open and running.
Even worse, you actually live in the same state and you're saying that you have been paying attention, so you know that nothing's going to be up and running, but you still recorded the video and thought that this was going to be some kind of win. Make it make sense.
I mean, even if it is, it's still not going to be the same.
If you think it's not going to be the same, imagine how the residents feel. There are people that have lost everything. There are entire neighborhoods that have been wiped out. They were finding bodies in trees, and you're worried about how things aren't going to be the same for your vacation experience. How dense can you be?
You pay X amount of dollars to go on a vacation with friends or with family. You expect to have a vacation, not
what? Not have the entire area inconvenience you because it's been wiped off the map? How did she not even consider how this would sound? How did she sit down, record this, and then if you notice, there's cuts in it. So she actually took the time to edit it. How could you go through that entire process and not think to yourself, I might be looking bad here?
Try to figure out your way around barricades, not worrying about what's going to be open, what's not going to be open. I mean, hell, most of the time we're just going to worry about what's in our price range.
Unless your price range is in the billions and you can help rebuild the entire town, nothing is going to be available to you. I don't know how this was even a thought to this person. Does she not have a husband and kids that maybe could have been like, hey mom, or hey hun, maybe that's not the best idea? But I can tell by her social media that she's the kind of person that's like, I got this, trust me. My followers are gonna love it.
Now we have a whole nother slew on our plate. I have spent the last hour this morning on the phone.
You mean you actually have a dry place to sit and your phone's getting service? You don't know how blessed you are, ma'am.
Trying to figure out with Evolve, because we booked through Airbnb, property management, Evolve. You know me.
No, actually, we don't know you. And this is a horrible first impression. And I know that there's no way she could have actually known what this is going to turn into, because this video has 1.4 million views. And she had to turn off the comments. They absolutely went in on her. By the time I got there, the comments had already been disabled. But I know she got it. And I racked my brain really trying to give her the benefit of the doubt and just thought, how could she think that this was a good idea? And the answer is she really couldn't have, unless she's just truly that oblivious to what's going on in the world around her. It was almost like watching a parody account when I first saw this.
I don't like going through rental companies, and this is a prime example of why.
This is a prime example of why? Why are natural disasters more likely to happen when you book through a rental company? Because I didn't know that was a thing. Please enlighten.
Because they're telling me that they have to first get in touch with the owner before they can make any executive decisions. Oh, I'm sorry. Isn't that what the owner pays you for? To make executive decisions, especially if a natural disaster out of anybody's hands happens?
Jesus Christ, lady. They probably have something in the contract that says they have to contact the owner of the property before they can cancel reservations. And I'm sure the owner has nothing better to do than snorkel back to safety to make sure that he can approve your refund. I'm sure that's at the top of his to-do list right now.
Not to make matters worse, how do we know that the owner doesn't live in the area and isn't stranded themselves?
So you fully realize that that's a possibility, but you're still busting balls.
How do we know that the owner doesn't live out of state and doesn't even know what the fuck's going on?
Trust me, if he owns a property in the area, he knows this is going on.
How do we know that we're even going to hear from the owner?
Can you actually hear yourself? Because you're implying that the owner could have passed passed away in this situation, and still making it seem like the most tragic part of this situation would be the fact that he didn't live long enough to cancel your reservation.
So I have 5 days to cancel this reservation and only get a partial refund. A partial refund after a $2,500 trip for a week with my family of 6.
And I get that. $2,500 is nothing to sneeze at. But this isn't the moment. And whatever happened to the bigger picture, girl? Whatever happened to the that's just what you do, girl? See, and like I said at the beginning, I don't think this would be as bad if she hadn't been acting like Good Samaritan of the Year in her earlier post. And I really feel like this particular video just showed who you really are.
Do not misunderstand me. I understand completely cancellation policies.
When she built up to the I understand, I really did think that she was going to say she understands the devastation that they're dealing with. But no, right back to cancellation. She understands cancellation. She knows the policies. Because the policies are the most important thing right now, clearly.
House rules. I do this for a living. But when a natural disaster out of everybody's hands hits.
And that's probably what's the most frustrating part of this whole video, is that she works with Airbnb herself. She has a couple of properties, so she knows how this works. She knows what her rights are. She knows that she's gonna get taken care of. She's just mad because they're not doing it fast enough for her. That's what this comes down to, and that's one of the things that bothers me the most in this entire situation. She knows she's gonna be okay. She's gonna get her money back. She knows this.
I expect some sort of accommodation. Some sort of communication.
Does it occur to you at all that there are more important things in the world at this very moment than your customer service dispute?
Some sort of understanding. Not get in your car, drive 5 hours from Eastern North Carolina to go to your vacation rental.
Okay, I'm going to reiterate this, but I am 100% sure that absolutely nobody is advising you to go to this vacation rental. I am 100% sure of that. I am sure that nobody at Airbnb or the property management company has advised you to do this. So stop saying that like anybody has.
Mind you, my parents are coming from Western Tennessee to Eastern Tennessee. Well, if you don't know, you do now. The roads of I-40 are washed out at the state line.
You mean to tell me after a Category 4 hurricane, the roads are washed out? Who could have expected that? Actually, the only thing this tells me is that the stupid apple doesn't fall far from the stupid tree. Because you don't look like a young woman yourself, no offense. So that means your parents are even older. So they should have known better than to travel for a vacation during this situation. And furthermore, I hope they stay stuck there for days. I don't wish any ill on them outside of inconvenience and just having to sit there and stink and deal with the consequences of their own stupidity and also with the consequences of raising a stupid daughter on top of it. I mean, you're really letting us know where you get your smarts on this one.
What's frustrating?
What's frustrating is the fact that you don't know it's pronounced frustrating. And I know I'm being nitpicky, but she's really trying to act like she's smarter than everybody else right now and then can't even pronounce frustrating. And I know some of you are going to be in the comments and you're going to be like, I say frustrating. Well, sorry, stupid. It's pronounced frustrating and I hate when people say frustrating. See how many subscribers I lose for correcting people on frustrating. But do better. It's frustrating. I mean, the word is frustrating and the situation's frustrating. I swear I need a life.
Is that all they can tell me is, we understand your concern. Do you? And what I do not like about this particular realty company, Evolve, is not hands-on. They are remote. There is no office in Hendersonville.
Okay, you should be thankful that they aren't in Hendersonville, because if they were, they'd be washed out like everybody else in the area. And if you think their communication is bad right now, imagine if they had been local, Brainiac.
So you talk to robots, you talk to recordings, you're texting customer service. Nobody knows what the fuck's going on.
Welcome to 2024, Toots.
And this is just infuriating to me. But with all of that being said, I think as a short-term rental host myself and an Airbnb host and doing this for a living, when a natural disaster hits in any part of the country, cancel all reservations and refund your people. Because 9 out of 10 times, your people aren't going to want to come to where a natural disaster hit unless they're documenting the natural disaster. Thoughts, comments, what should I do? Let's pray this works out.
Let's pray this works. Can you imagine the nerve, the audacity, the unmitigated gall of being like, let's pray this works out? Yeah, let us all stop praying for the people that have lost their lives, for the people that have lost their homes, and the people that have lost family members and pets and everything they've ever owned, and instead pray that you get your money back from Airbnb. And you know what? Technically, she is right. And technically, she should get her money back. And in a video, she ends up updating that she was able to get her money back. And what I was going to tell you guys that I think is where she went wrong is I'm pretty sure that this was her plan, because she knew that if she canceled before the hurricane actually happened, which is what you would have done if you were really thinking and you were really worried about it like that, but she knew that if she canceled at that point, they would probably still give her the cancellation fee and only a partial refund. So instead, she waited until after it had happened so she could be like, look, y'all, there's no way I could go down there anyhow. Everything's gonna be washed out. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna drive 5 hours and not know if the attractions are open? How stupid can you be? But I'm sure that's what she was counting on. I'm sure she planned it all the way down to posting it on social media. If they don't give me my money fast enough, if they don't give me a full refund, I'm gonna go straight to TikTok, because she's got 50,000 followers on TikTok. She really does handle Airbnb. She has her own properties, it appears, and then I guess she handles some others as well. But she really does do that, and her series is showing what people have left behind at the different Airbnbs that she runs. And it's sort of like, why don't you just keep the stuff and stop complaining like it's the worst thing in the world? And then she'll complain about things like kids coloring on the walls and stuff like that. And it's like, you're basically running a flop house. And the cleaning fees on Airbnb are pretty ridiculous from what I hear. Also, I'm not sure if she was so worried about the situation, if there was insurance that she could have got on Airbnb. I'm not the most familiar with Airbnb. I've never chosen to stay at an Airbnb because to me, it doesn't sound like the most luxurious experience. I don't want to stay in anybody's house. I don't want to live residentially when I'm visiting a place. I would much rather be downtown in a hotel if I'm visiting, unless I'm staying with friends. So I don't know how Airbnb works, but I would imagine that there's some kind of insurance that you can pay for so that if a situation like this happens, you're covered. You probably chose not to do that either, and this is how you ended up in this situation, and now you want to act like it's the entire world's problem and everybody should stop what they're doing in the middle of an actual natural disaster that has the president sending 1,000 troops, I believe it was, to go help in that area and the surroundings. So she was stupid enough to post this and everybody hated her. I mean, it turned into a real situation where people were just barraging her and doing stitches with her where they were talking about their situations and what they were going through and how insensitive she was. So then she decided to double down on it, and then she decided to make a video where she was like, the whole internet's mad at me today, and just playing music, and I didn't get to download that one. She ended up deleting it. I thought she was gonna stick to everything, but she turned out to not be as ballsy as she was pretending to be, because at first she was like, I don't care, people can feel how they want to feel, and then people really let her have it, and she got like, shut off the comments and delete this video. And so I got what I could actually get from her, but she did update and let us know that she got her money back. And then she eventually did a true Karen move and apologized without apologizing, only to turn herself into the victim. Like, I can't believe people were so mad at me. Why did I get attacked? They attacked my family online. They said horrible things about my family. It's like, welcome to the internet. Did you not realize that was going to happen? And do you not realize that you're that annoying of a person? Because I can't imagine being that annoying of a person and completely not knowing that. And so now she's filtered her comments heavily. That's how she puts it. And of course, there's a couple of people that are still supporting her. But I would imagine that she probably lost a lot of her TikTok friends. And now they're just kind of lightweight hate watching and seeing how everything shakes out and seeing if anything's going to really blow up again and get her into trouble or if this is over. But I think since she runs the Airbnbs, the chances of them actually tracking down which are her properties and that kind of stuff, I don't think they're going to come for her and cancel her like that. that. I think she's kind of dealing with a consequence-free situation. And really, to me, the tongue lashing that she got in the comments is all the punishment she needs. I really don't feel like this situation deserves her having her entire life ruined or not being able to make money. There's almost nothing I feel that way about. If you guys didn't know what my thoughts are on that, very few things actually warrant that, and this definitely does not fall under that. But at the same time, I think she really, even though she's not going to take it like she should, I guarantee you she's not the kind of person that's actually going to make any adjustments. But this should really be a wake-up call for her to exactly how insufferable and miserable she is. And I'd be willing to bet her entire family hates her. And I shouldn't have said what I said about her parents being stuck, because I would imagine that she was probably raised a bratty kid, so it is their fault and they kind of do deserve it. But she probably made them come out. And that's the other thing that makes me think that she didn't cancel the reservation earlier, because she thought that it might pan out and she might be able to still have her vacation. That's why she was still having her parents come out, because otherwise I think you would have just said, hey, it doesn't look like this is going to happen, so you guys stay at home, stay safe, stay dry, don't come travel out here. Because I'll tell you, when it was flooding in Houston, if my parents had said they were going to come out this way to Austin, I still would have been like, no, don't bother, because I don't know what the weather is going to be like here. Too dangerous. You guys are old. Stay home. But I think she's the kind of person that's just miserable enough to be like, y'all are going to ruin my vacation. And I don't know why I keep giving her that accent. I know that she only has a hint of a Southern accent. I guess I give it to her because to me, she just seems like a truly dumb, clueless person that 100% doesn't get it. And so I think I assign an accent to her that would make it seem like she's just as stupid as she actually is. Anyway, let me know down below in the comments what you guys think. As always, this has been Ty Rivera, the absolute best LGBTQ comedian in the world.
They bought into his bullshit.